Today, we will talk about how to figure out what you want in a relationship. Let's have a look at the details. Knowing exactly what you want out of a relationship is very difficult, especially if you're young or inexperienced. Even if you've dated many other people, every relationship is unique, and you might have different priorities now than you have had in the past. Finding out what you want in a relationship can be a laborious process, but it's worth it. The first step is to determine the deal breakers. Develop a list of non-negotiables. Sometimes, to get a better understanding of what you want in a relationship, it's best to inform yourself about what you don't want. Figuring out what you want can be tricky, but usually, you know exactly what you don't want. Sit down and put together a list of criteria that would disqualify a potential match first. Figure out the personal values you don't want to compromise. You can think of your personal values as a roadmap detailing the sort of life you'd like to lead. It's unlikely to think that a romantic partner will share all the same values as you. However, it's important for you to know what yours are so that you can know which principles and beliefs you are not willing to compromise. For example, if you think honesty is really important, you are unlikely to mesh well with a partner who lies. What's more, it's likely to cause a rift in the relationship if your partner expects you to lie. Consider any previous relationship patterns. Think back on relationships you have had in the past, whether romantic, platonic, or familial. For those relationships that ended badly, consider the factors that contributed to the relationship dissolving. What about those relationships that left you dissatisfied or unhappy? Write down any negative patterns you can uncover from your relationships with past lovers, friends, or family members that did not fulfill you. Consider these problem areas as a foundation for what you don't want in the future. Think about any issues you have noticed in the relationships around you. Others' relationships affect you, too. Surely, you have spent time with friends or family members who were in romantic relationships. Even though you were on the outside, you may have been aware of the issues these individuals experienced. For example, maybe your sister was devastated after her boyfriend cheated. You helped her through this time and made her aware of how important it is to be faithful in a relationship. Take note of any such red flags from others' relationships that you don't want to have to happen in yours. Learning from the mistakes of others may help you to enjoy a more satisfying relationship in the future. The second step is to examine your needs. Love yourself first. Many people wrongfully search for a romantic partner to complete them. However, your partner should only complement you. You should already be complete on your own. Feeling complete translates to having self-love that is not dependent on anyone else loving you. Becoming aware of your inner needs and desires and living in accordance with them, caring for your body, managing stress, avoiding the tendency to dwell in the past and live in the now. Think about what kind of relationship you want. What are your expectations for both your partner and yourself? Try to be as impartial about yourself as possible. This will help you identify the types of people you want to stop seeing and behavioral patterns that you want to end, which will help you figure out the kind of relationship you actually do want. Transform your list of deal breakers into the most important qualities. Go back to your list of deal breakers. By knowing what you don't want, you can now uncover some things that you do. Transform your list of deal breakers into positive qualities that you desire in a relationship. For instance, if a deal breaker for you is someone who has a drug or alcohol problem, you might transform that into concern for physical and mental health. You know you don't want to be in a relationship with someone who uses drugs or alcohol abusively, so you would look for someone who seems to prioritize health. Be the person you want to date. One way to maximize the process of discovering your ideal partner is to embody the traits you yourself are looking for. This method allows you to check whether your expectations are realistic, and it also gives you a chance to assess what you are willing to give in a relationship. For example, if physical health and well-being are important qualities you are asking for in a partner, strive to spend a month focusing wholeheartedly on your own health, eating well, exercising, fighting stress, and getting sleep. Keep up the good habits after the month ends. The third step is to date casually. Go out with a few people with no strings attached. You can make lists and look at your past relationships for signposts, but the very best way to figure out what you want in a relationship is to start dating casually. Go out for coffee, ice cream, or drinks with a few people who seem to meet your standards. Know your limitations before you step into this domain, however. You may not want to become physically intimate with several people at the same time. Evaluate your compatibility with different suitors. As you casually date a few potential suitors, consider how well each individual matches up with your personal values, goals, and dreams. Check to be sure no one is representing qualities from your deal breakers list. As you come to get to know this person, don't forget about your own wants and needs. At this point, you may naturally feel a better connection or more aligned with one person over any others. Now is the time to cut off any ties with other suitors so that you can focus on strengthening the relationship you have with this person and maintaining fidelity. Even if someone seems like a good match on paper, you might not have any real chemistry in person. That's okay. Instead of trying to force it, move on to a different suitor. Visualize the relationship beyond the honeymoon phase. Every short-term relationship starts off by seeing your partner through rose-colored glasses. Everything the other person says or does is absolutely charming. In time, the perfect aura around this person starts to fade. Prepare yourself for this eventuality and start looking beyond the crazy in love phase to how things will be in several months or years. Communicate with your partner. If you come to find that you and your partner are quite compatible and share similar values, goals, interests, and outlooks on life, then it may be time to have a candid talk about where you stand. Once you feel sure that this person embodies what you want in a relationship, you need to make sure they feel the same. Be straightforward about your feelings. If your partner is not interested in a long-term relationship, it's better to know that early on. Don't make the mistake of thinking you can change their mind one way or another. Thanks for watching our video. Please don't forget to subscribe to our channel.